Yeah, good morning to all of you. Last week, if you remember, we discussed files. Files are of two types, text files and binary files. I just showed you a small example of how we can create a text file. So if you recall, we used the data type file and we used a file pointer like that. And there's a function called as fopen. And you have to mention the name of the file. Let us say test.txt. So all text files would have extension txt, and then you have to mention in what mode you are opening the file. So since the file doesn't exist, I want to open it in either write mode or append mode. So let me open this in write mode. Once the file is open, you can print to this file. So fprintf is the function to use. Then you mention the file pointer that you open and just say hello world. So this string hello world would be returned to the file. So if I run the program, I need to choose the language here. Yeah. So as you can see, files, text files and binary files, and it has created that file automatically and it has written hello world. So we can write to files. Just 1 minute. We can write to files the way I've shown you here. If you wanted to write one more sentence, you would again write printf fp have a nice day. Okay, so now if I run the program, again the same program would run, but this time you will see two sentences there. Hello world, have a nice day. Since I haven't given a new line, it is writing on the same line. So if you had written a new line here, then the file would contain two lines on two separate lines. So creating a text file is very easy. And last time I showed you how to open the file in read mode and reach each character and print it on the screen. Okay. So file creation is very, very important, especially when you're writing programs where some persistent storage is required. That is, the contents of what the program generates has to be written to a file. So if the program is about generating some information in textual form, you would open the files as text files and write to them. And at a later time, if you want the content again, you can open the file in read mode and use the content. So last part of any file operation would be fclose. So you have to close the file pointer as I told you last time, so that all the resources held up by this file open will be released back to the system. Okay, is this part clear?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we'll go ahead with how do I use a binary file. It means the data will be written in raw binary, zeros and ones. Now, where such a requirement exists. Now, let us say we have learned structures, right? So, structures hold collection of information about some entities like student, courses, or employees, etc. So, let's take a simple example here. Type def struct. We'll create a employee structure. We know employee will have an employee ID, then you will have a name. So char emp name, some 20 characters. Maybe employee will have a salary. So let's have only 3 data members in this structure. Now we know how to create a structure variable. You just have to say employee E or E1, whatever you want to call it as, and then initialize the content. So 100, some name Ajay, and then the salary, let us say some 5,000, like this. And it is a float, we can use F here. So we have created a object of this structure. Now, if I want to write this to a file, okay, So I need to create a file which is of type binary. So I'll use a pointer fp1. Again, you would use f open, and then you can see, you can give an appropriate name like emp data, something like this. Okay, and then when you open the file, it should open in write binary wb, so that you will be able to write to the file. All right, but when you use binary files, you cannot use fprintf. You have to use fwrite. Fwrite will start with the object name, then size of the structure, that is employee, how many objects you want to write, that is one, and then the file pointer. So the syntax is little different. Fwrite will write the entire structure to the binary file. So once you are done, you can again say fclose fp1.
What is that one, sir? One is
One is
one.
how many objects you are writing. So you are writing only one object, no e1.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if it is an array, let us say e1 is an
Mm,
array of many objects. I'll show you that also,
o-
where you want to
okay.
write two objects in one go. So you can write two,
Okay.
three, whatever. Hmm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's see if it does the job. Is it address of this? Let me check. Okay, so we need to pass the address of the object that you want to write. That's the only thing. Okay, so you must pass
So you mean
it. Yeah.
here, if employee even
Hmm.
if it is a pointer star even,
Yeah.
and without this thing, if we provide it in this flower braces, then it would have been root.
Yeah, yeah. If it is a
Correct?
pointer, then you need not write ampersand. For example, here,
Okay.
if I say employee hmm, E, that is
Hmm.
star E, and then pass the address of E1, you can
Hmm.
just write E here. Okay. If you
Understood.
run it, it writes to the file. Now, as you can see, we have, you can only see the name of the employee. Other things will appear as dot, 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 some garbage, because it is in raw binary. Okay. So writing to a binary file, the data will not be fully visible. Only the text part which is there in the structure object will be visible. Rest all will be in binary, and the editor, when you open it here, you will not see much. So I have written one object here. Hmm. Similarly, if I want one more object, for example, if I take,
Sir, actually, I do have one doubt.
okay,
Okay, instead of
hmm,
using f right,
hmm,
okay,
hmm.
in the fp itself, can we print like fprintf using fprintf? Can we print the whole object itself? Meaning, instead of the string,
Hmm.
can we just pass the employee one so that it will what exactly it does? Meaning will it give some error, or what exactly it should be?
Where,
Meaning
where
the
in
second argument
fprintf?
f printf.
No, no,
Yes,
no.
in f printf
Fprintf.
the second argument should
No,
be.
no, no. We cannot use fprintf for binary,
No,
writing to
no,
binary.
not binary.
Huh.
Let us think like I am creating a text file itself.
Okay.
Okay, so
Hmm.
the second in f printf the second argument should always be a string, or the second argument can be anything other than string.
No, it has to be a string, no, because it's a text file.
Okay,
It cannot
okay,
be an object of this structure.
okay, fine, fine,
Otherwise, you
fine.
have to write a function to convert the structure into a
Convert
string
them
and then
into
write it.
structure. So,
So two string
okay,
function you have to write, which will convert the structure into
okay.
a string, and then you can write.
Got it.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we could write to the binary file. All right.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
what about writing two objects into the file? So now what I do is I'll create an array of objects here. So we know how to do that. Let us say all employees. So here I'm going to create an array of objects. I think so. Is it this is first object, then this is second object. Let us say 101, Kiran, then some 7,000. So this is an array of objects, right?
Yes.
Is this how we do it? Let us see. Now
Yes.
all employees, anyway, I have to remove this now. All employees, if I pass here, I need not say ampersand because array name itself is an address.
Other than second
Okay.
address.
And then here you have to mention how many objects you want to write. I want to write 2 of them. Okay. So let's see whether it goes through. Yes, it does. You will see 2 objects coming there, Ajay and Kiran. Right? So you understood this number 2 now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Suppose you have
So
another object here, but if you mention only 2, the first 2 will be written. Third one will not be written.
okay. So if I want to write it from the last 5, so then how I can give? Meaning, let us think like I do have hundreds of employee details.
Okay.
Okay. So I just want to press. I have already entered 95.
Okay.
Okay. Now I don't want to reiterate and write it in the 95 employees.
Okay.
So whatever it is there,
I mean you want to
I'm
append to the file, right? Okay.
append to the file of last 5 employees.
Yeah.
Not the
Now,
whole.
see, already I have written 2 now, right? Suppose if
Right.
I change it to append binary, AB. Okay.
Okay.
And now I change these values. Let us say 102. Okay.
Okay.
Sharda, something like that.
Okay.
103.
Sunil.
Or some different number. Now what will happen is I again write 2 objects, but it will be appended. So if I run this program again, you will see in the file, you will have all of them. Ajay, Kiran,
Okay.
Sharda and Vinod.
Okay.
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 So just that you have to use A instead of W. W will override the content. A will append to the file.
Okay.
This part is clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now how do I read and display from the file? I should be able to read, no? After I have opened the file. So what I do is I'll create another array. Let us say test EMPs. Let us say I want to read 2 of them at one go. Now I need to open the file in read mode. File star fp2. Okay, f open. You already have that emp data, right? Dot data, and now you read that in binary mode. And after closing the file fp1. Now assume that we'll close, we'll switch off these statements, but I don't want to write again. And it's already written. This fp1 is also not required. I'll just open the existing file emp.data in read mode. And if I want to read this in fread, then test employees, comma, again size of 1 employee. Then I want to read 2 objects from file pointer 2. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I read?
Yeah, it is from the beginning. fread is always from the beginning of the file.
Okay.
Okay. So you need to use a function called as fseek.
Condition.
So there is a function called as fseek. Fseek can be used to move the file pointer to requested object, and from there you can perform read. That's slightly involved, but we'll see how this reading helps. Okay. Now, if I want to print both the objects, I'll take a index variable I, and then here for I equal to 0, I less than 2, I plus plus, and then def. First is employee ID, it is a percentage %d. Then next is percentage as employee name, then slash T salary percentage, yeah, right, and then slash n,
Yeah.
comma. Uh, we have read it in test EMPs index of I. So here you should use dot operator, that is EMP ID, then test EMPS of I dot EMP name, test EMPS of I dot salary. So I have to access individual members of the structure using dot operator, EMP name. Okay, so hope this will read both the objects, first two objects and print. As you can see, 100 Ajay, 101 Kiran and close sim. Okay, this part is clear. Okay, if you wanted to read all four, you have to give four objects here, and then the number you have to increase to 4, and in the loop variable the count has to be 4 here. And if I run, all 4 will be listed. You got it? Okay, so you just try this program, and after this we shall see how an array of pointers we can use to uh, point to objects of structures. All right. Any questions here?
No, no, sir.
Yeah, just give a try. Try this out.
Yeah.
Okay. So first you declare one structure like that. Perform the reading first, and then you can try that right part. First, try this. You can do text file first. I will put this text file first. Yeah. Just observe the difference between the two F writes on line number 32 and 33. If you are passing an array, it is just the name of the array. And if you are passing an individual object of employee structure, it has to be ampersand E. So shall we proceed then?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have seen array of pointers to integers, array of pointers to strings, right? So we also need to look at how I can use array of pointers to structures. So let's take a interesting example where we need to use array of pointers. I have taken a banking application. Is my screen visible? I have considered a banking application. Now you all are familiar, in a bank we have branches, we have, in each branch we have customers and customers have account. So we have a hierarchy of objects. So let's take the bank object. So we need to define a structure where you record all the details of the bank. For example, bank name, and then possibly the bank CEO. Okay, so then possibly the address where the head office is located. Now, how do I uh, include the branches, right? So what we have to do is we have to say all branches here, and this would be an array of pointers to bank objects. So I will show it like this. So this is first pointer, second pointer, maybe third pointer, fourth, like that. So we have branches here. You can have branch name, branch manager, then its address, maybe city, okay, and then whatever, IFSC code, etc. Now, one of this pointer should point to this branch, isn't it? Suppose another branch exists, so we can have one more branch here. Here again, we have branch name, branch manager, okay, then address, etc. The second pointer here can point to this object, correct? And in the branch, we need to have customers. So I can extend this to have all customers. Just like I had all branches, this all customers will be again an array of pointers. Let us say there are two customers. So one customer is here, another is here. Similarly, customer will have customer ID, customer name, PAN number or Aadhaar number, whatever. And then he will have account. So if he has only one account, fine, you can have account and you can include it directly here. But suppose he has more than one account, again, you could have all accounts. Again, an array of pointers, each pointing to one of the accounts here. So this is first account. Maybe if he has one other account, you can have like that. And in the account, we know account number, okay, account type, and then the balance. Okay. So if you want to build a practical application like this, we need to have all the relevant objects of structures like bank, branches, customers, and account. And we should be able to relate all these things because these objects of the structure don't exist in isolation. They are tightly related to one another. As you know, all branches make up the bank, all customers in the branch will make up the branch, and all accounts will be of the customers. You can just go on like accounts will have transactions. You can have one more structure called transaction where individual transactions of the account are maintained, where you mention the transaction ID, date of transaction, type of transaction, amount transacted, and further description of the transaction. So if I have to build an application like this, then we need to know how do I declare an array of structures like this. In fact, array of pointers which can point to structures. Now, one important question might arise. Why use array of pointers? Can I not have array of objects here itself? Is it possible to have array of objects here itself? For example, here instead of pointers, I can say struct all branches and use some fixed number like this 20. Now problem with this is you don't have to do malloc and get the pointer and assign them individually, but you don't know how many branches will be there for the bank. Initially when you start the bank, you might have just 2 to 3 branches. As the businesses grow, the branches will be added. So you need to expand the number of branches. And here, if you have allocated 20 objects and if you use only 3 of them, there will be memory wastage. But if the number of branches grow beyond 20, you will have a problem. So to avoid all this, what is good is it is better to use array of pointers. And as you know, pointers only occupy 4 bytes. Whereas if you allocate memory for the objects entirely, object may be some 40 bytes and a 14 to 20 some 800 bytes have to be allocated whether you are using or not. But if you have only the pointers, then only 20 into 4 bytes, 80 bytes will be allocated, right? And as and when new branches are added, we can allocate memory dynamically and assign these objects to the pointers in the array. Okay, so always use of pointers is very, very useful in conserving memory, especially when you are building these application on machines with less memory. It should be of great concern to you. All right. So let us now see how I can build one simple application where bank and branches are involved. we shall see if customers can also be added. As a first step, we'll create a bank structure with these member variables and also include an array of pointers. So let us see all of this in action. Let me start a new project. Yeah. Now, what are the things that we require? We need to define the structure type def struct. We'll have bank name, char bank name, some number of characters. We'll define what is this max here itself, hash define max some 20 characters or 20 whatever. Then bank CEO, again max, then address. So for address, you can have a longer uh, array of characters by defining max 140, something like that, but let's not get into this. Then you put the tag as bank. Okay. Now to point to a set of branches, I need to define an array of pointers in the bank. So before that, I need to define what a branch is. So it should be defined before here because I am going to use its definition in the bank. Type def struct again. I am going to include all the branch related things. So we'll have a branch name. Again max. Okay, char branch manager name. Okay, then we can have char ifsc, which is again, let us say, some 10 characters. So we'll define one more constant here. Hash define max 1. So this is your branch structure. Now I want to have an array of branches in the bank. So all that I have to do is branch all branches. If I just say max here, so 20 objects will be created right here. I don't want this. What I want is just array of pointers. You see the difference between just name of the array and with a star name of the array. Okay. So this will allocate only the pointers to the objects which will be allocated at runtime. So bank can hold objects of the branches. We shall see how all this can be done. All right. Now here we can define banking application. So first thing is we have to create a bank object here. So bank my bank, and right away you can initialize it. What all we want to initialize? We want to give a bank name. Let us say ICICI. Let us say manager is some Anand Sharma. Then address, let us say Koromangal. Then, so we need to initialize with nulls. So I can use, we know how to initialize an array with flower brackets. You can say null, comma, null, comma, null. You have to do this 20 times. We will not do that. We will only do 3 times so that only the first 3 pointers will be set to null. Okay, so this is how I initialize the bank object. Okay, now I can print the bank details. Printf percentage d percentage yes is the bank name slash the manager name slash the percentage yes address. Okay, so here you have to say my bank dot bank name comma my bank dot bank CEO my bank dot address. So let's see working of only this. We'll see some output coming up. Hash define. There is a spelling mistake. Should be define like that. Yeah. Now you see banking application ICICI Bank, manager name and the branch name. All right. So we created a bank object. Now I need to add the branches, right? So how do I add the branch? Now instead of writing all that code here, I would prefer using a function add branch. And to this, I am going to pass the address of my bank. Okay. So that I can use this pointer to access the individual members in the function void add branch. Here what should I write? I should write bank star my bank, or just say bank, right? So in this
Void,
add branch,
sir, void,
yeah,
void, VIOD,
ah,
VOID.
okay. You
And
can convert it into Vinod.
NSSC.
Yeah, okay. Good observation. Yeah. Now, how do I add a branch to the bank? So first thing is I have to allocate memory to the branch. Right?
Malloc.
So I will take a branch pointer p and say p equal to malloc size of branch. Correct? But
And type
yeah,
construct
malloc will send you a
void
void
pointer
pointer. It must be typecast to
branch.
branch. Branch star it should be, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so now p points to the branch object. Now we need to initialize with your this thing. So I need to ask enter branch. What are the members of the branch variable? Branch name, branch manager name, and IFSC. Three things I have to ask. So enter branch name, printf, enter branch manager name. We'll do reading just immediately. Just hold on for 1 minute. I will first print the three messages. Then we have to say printf enter IFSC code. So when you are reading strings, okay, don't use scanf because that might cause some problem. It will skip reading second one, jump to third, because the slash n will be in the buffer, and when you try to use scanf, sometimes it skips. So what I need to do is I have to use fgetS. fgetS, then we need to say p arrow branch name. Branch name, and you have to read it from standard input. So you must use fgetS instead of scanf here. I tried yesterday using scanf. It was jumping to IFSC code without reading the manager name. So you need to do that. Here branch manager name, and last one is fgetS, or this arrow IFSC. So now you created the branch, isn't it? Now we need to assign this to all branches. So I have the pointer bank here, arrow all branches. Now what should I use as an index here? Right, as you go on adding the branches, we need to keep track of the number of branches added. So what I do is I take a branch count variable here, which is,
And it should be static.
yeah, it should be static. You understand now why static, okay? because next time when you come to add again, the value will be from 1 onwards, right? So here I will
Yeah.
use branch count. Okay. You can do a plus plus and then use that and assign your pointer p. Okay. So what all we did, we created a branch object, initialized it with some values read from the keyboard, and we could assign that to all branches. So one branch is added. This part is clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So every time you call add branch, it will add one branch, right? Now, how do I display all the branches? So what I want to do is you can write one more function here, show all branches. Here you have to again pass my bank. Yeah. So we have one difficulty in show all branches. I'll show you what it is. You can say void show all branches. Again, it is going to be bank star B or again bank. Okay. Now we need to find out how many objects are there in the branches. Of course, you can write a complicated logic, find the size of the array and divide by size of the structure, we'll get how many objects are there. Instead, I will use a very simple approach where along with the members of bank, I can add int branch count as a variable. Okay. And this branch count, I'll initially put it to 0. And I'm not displaying that here, but I'll be using this branch count in my show all branches. Before that, I have to say bank arrow branch count equal to whatever is my branch count here. So this bank arrow branch count is member of the structure, whereas this branch count on the right hand side of equal to sign is a local variable which is static. Okay, so first time when you call add branch count will be 0. It will access the first element in the array and put the pointer there. Branch count.
Instead of
Yeah.
okay, instead of branch count, meaning if we have added it in the structure,
Okay.
so can we don't need the branch count currently, right? Meaning we can say that 53 branch count is not required. So as and when the branch count is not there,
Hmm.
meaning what I'm saying is if branch count is not defined,
Hmm.
meaning we don't have any value,
Hmm.
we'll say that the branch count is equal to 0 and we will add the branch count plus plus
Okay. Yeah.
and add that kind of
Yeah.
thing,
You
right?
can
We
do.
can.
You can do that also. You can do with that static branch count. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can do
Okay.
that. But now
Okay.
for simplicity, I'm keeping that
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a
yeah. Fine,
member.
sir. Fine, fine.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
here I have to take a variable I.
Mm.
Okay. And run a loop for I equal to 0 semicolon I less than bank
Bank
arrow
branch count. Arrow.
arrow branch count, right? I plus plus. And if I have to display everything of the branches, I say printf. So we have a branch name, which is a string, then branch manager name, which is again a string, then the IFSC code, which is again a string, comma. Here I have to use bank arrow all branches. Okay, I
I dot
dot or arrow,
arrow.
because all branches is a pointer. Again, you have to use one more arrow here. So you'll have branch name, comma, all branches of I, arrow, branch manager name, then branch name, sorry, all branches of I, arrow,
Missed.
I missed something.
Bank you missed. Bank.
I think so. I have not used bank here. Bank arrow all branches of I. Bank
Bank.
arrow all branches of I, and then this should point to IFSC code. Yeah. All right.
Hmm.
So we need to put slash n so that if there is more than one branch, it will come on the next line. So we have added only one branch. If you want, you can add one more. So here we call add branch again, ampersand my bank, so that you will see everything in action. That is, it will ask for two branches and then it will show all the branches of the bank. Hope everything is fine. Add branch. Okay, now we have not declared the prototypes of these, so we need to do that. Void show all branches bank star, then semicolon here, void add branch, right? Add branch, and then it is bank star. Alloc. Okay, so you have to include the header file stdlib. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, first instance, when you write a very large program like this, many things will go wrong and you need to correct them step by step. stdlib.h. fget s expects the size of the array. Max here. Manager name is also max. And IFSC code, it is max 1, I think so. Is it max 1 or max? Let it be max.
Max 1. Max 1.
Max 1. Yeah, let's see if it goes through. Yeah. So the ICICI Bank has come. I have not given any message. It is waiting for me to enter the bank details. So we should have added. I need to mention what I should do next. Printf add new branch. So when you say add new branch, you are going to this, and here it should come with printf enter new branch. Yeah. So add new branch, it is asking for branch name. Let us say some India or something. Manager name, some name. Then IFSC code. I see some 4 zeros and then some 3-digit number. Okay. Enter branch manager name. Again, it is asking for the second branch now. Some Kiran problems. Okay, so it has, I have done it up to customer level. So here, if you say branch name, let us say Mangala branch, city. I have used different attributes, that is fine. IFSC code ICICI 000 1 2 3 like that. Again, it is branch name. Let us say Whitefield. Here it is going correct. Here again ICICI. Okay, so it is printing all the information correctly. So I have two branches now, one at Nelamangala and another one is at Whitefield, so it is doing that correctly. Now I have extended this further that once you add the branches, you can enter the customer also. So some name like customer, then his PAN number, some number like that. Initial balance some 8,000. Another customer, then PAN number, initial balance. Yeah. Now you see there are two customers in that given branch. Okay. So it is possible to build a complete application like this with different, structures modeling one real life object like bank, branch, customer, and then again customer accounts and transactions, right? So the higher level you go, the difficult the project becomes, right? So you should be very careful in building all these structures carefully. Naming should be done appropriately, and one important thing that you must do is don't put all code in one file. So that is a mistake I'm doing now. You should split this into different files. For example, all these user defined types can be put in a header file, okay, including the prototype declarations. If you wish, I cut this. I create one more file here. You can say my header.h. So in my header.h, you can include, oh my God, one minute. Control C. Yeah, so you just include all these constant definitions, your structures, and all in your own header file. And from here, you can remove it and just include your header file as hash include my header.h. So don't use angle brackets. If you use angle brackets, it will go and search in some standard folder like lib. Since your header file is in your own current project directory, it should be in double quotes. Okay, so that you must remember. Similarly, don't put all these functions in your main file. You can select all this, Control X, create another file, you give some name bank.c or something, and within this bank.c, you paste them. Okay, so organizing your code in a different file is very, very important. Otherwise, you will see a lot of things in one file and it is very difficult to navigate and understand where the problem is. Okay, so after you have split the single file into three files, one for header, one for your banking application, and one for the main, you can now run and see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, now the problem is the header definitions are required even in
Bank.
bank.c, so it should be included here as well. Yeah, hopefully it will go through. Printf.
stdio.h
Yeah,
also.
so we require HTTP header file here.
It is using printf.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's again come back with that definition, enter branch name and all that. Okay, so what we understand from this example is that using an array of pointers, especially when you work with structures, is more beneficial and you will save a lot of memory. As and when new branches are added, you are mallocing, that is dynamically allocating the space, and you are assigning them to the individual pointers in the arrays. Okay, so either in the bank structure or in the branch structure. So when you come to branch structure, whenever you're adding a new customer is dynamically allocated memory and it is attached to the branches all customers array. Same is true when it comes to account. You create an account structure, and when you add a new account to the customer, again all accounts array of pointers should be updated. So also transactions. So it's going to be a large array of pointers to different structures, and you will see quickly the application grows in its size. So I showed you in the diagram quickly the whole structures become very complex. So that is why we have some tools available where you can draw these diagrams and then include everything and decide what pointers to point to which objects. Only after that you come back to the code and write the code. All right. So in today's session, we saw how to open a text file, write to it and read from it. And then we saw how to create a binary file, write an entire structure or an array of structures to it, and also read the individual structure object or an array of structure objects and display. All right. And use of array of pointers is demonstrated through these banking applications. All right. Yeah. Any questions here?
Defined.
Yeah. Now, what happens now? This branch count static, it is inside add branch, right?
Okay.
Now, this
Yeah.
will keep counting the number of branches that we add. But when you go to this display, show all branches, here we require branch count. No, from where will you get? This static variable cannot be accessed inside show all branches,
Okay.
right?
So we have predefined that in the structure
Yeah,
as
we
well.
define it in the structure so that it can be readily accessed because I'm getting the pointer bank and through that I can access the branch count.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there are many ways of doing it. You can declare a global variable and do it, but global variables you must avoid.
Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
okay. Hmm?
Sir, share this code. Sir.
Yeah, I'll share the code which is working, not this one, which I have tested and it is working. And you also try in the assignment. I have given some such problem. You can have a look at that and you try it out. Hopefully, you will find it difficult initially, but as you get more clarity, I think so you should be able to do it. All right.